Hello, welcome to Game Day with Carmen. We're going to be reviewing the GWS versus Melbourne game yesterday. Rudzeski, he's playing well for GWS. He scores the first goal of the game after a terrible turnover by Ed Land in defence. It's a fantastic start by the Giants, and a great tackle by Toby Green resulted in another goal. Wow, Latrell Pickett getting involved a lot. He's playing great football for Melbourne. My check for Melbourne, at full forward, coming back from an injury, kicks the first 2 goals for the D's. And a little bit of Cozzy magic got the D's to within 2 points at quarter time. I think Melbourne played a little bit better, and I think they really deserved to be in front, but they squandered some opportunities in the forward line. Finn Callahan in that second quarter started to get on top. Admin up forward, a clear winner, causing havoc. The Melbourne forwards were not existent. A really bad turnover by their captain in Gorn gave Harvey Thomas his second goal for the game. The last 3 goals by GWS were all by their mids. They were absolutely destroying Melbourne. Melbourne just can't cope with their run. Melbourne forwards doing absolutely nothing to keep the ball in the forward line. 2 late goals to Jefferson and Pickett brings the D's back to within 2 goals at the main break. They still had hope. Giants were just deadly in front of goal. They took up all their opportunities. And they've gone end from the back half to the forward half. It's their transition, their Orange Tasami. Players like Daniels, Thomas, Bedford and Oliver. Melbourne just can't keep up with them. 4 goals in a row by GWS. They lead by 36 points. Melbourne of old going into their forward line. If you remember, they used to just bomb it up there last year and the years before. That's why they couldn't win another premiership. And the transition from GWS from the forward line to scores absolutely sublime. Finally, Rivers kicks the first goal of the quarter. Now, the D's, just listen to this, had 17 inside 50s for 2 goals. 17 for 2 goals. And the Giants had 7 for 5 goals. What a difference. They were still only 27 points at 3/4 time. And then Rudzeski just killed it off. He kicked the first goal for the Giants, and they were just running the Melbourne side ragged. Another one to Brown, and GWS was 39 points up. Toby Green killed the game off. Game over. Melbourne had played 12 times. Listen to this stat. Melbourne played 12 times in Alice Springs and they've only won 4 times. Why sell your home ground to Alice Springs when you've got a 12-4 record? I don't understand it. Giants win by 49 points. And listen to this other stat. Giants kicked 19-5. How's that for goal kicking? Best for GWS was Thomas, Toby, Green and Ash. And for Melbourne, Sparrow, I thought it was his best game, Pickett and Bowley. Next game we're going to be talking about is the one in WA, West Coast versus Essendon. We were all wondering what kind of response Essendon was going to bring. Murdoch kicked the first goals for the Eagles. What a find he's been. They are doing all of the attacking, but with this really strong win, the kicking efficiency for both sides against that win was just horrific. Nobody's fault. It was just the conditions. Essendon kicked only 1 point for the term, but I thought they played really well against that win, and they found themselves 16 points down at quarter time. In the second quarter, Cox kicks the first goal for the Bombers, and then Dave Wicks added another. And then a sensational mark by Dave Wicks again, but he just couldn't go. I think that may have changed somewhat of the game. Unfortunately, he missed. And then it just went pear-shaped for the Bombers. Johnston scored a goal. It was a big, big goal for the West Coast against the win. And then another one to my man Shanahan, and they've taken control back of the game. The Eagles increased their lead in that second quarter to 20 points, and that basically was game over. In the third quarter, 5 quick goals by the Eagles, and Essendon just looked absolutely gone. They were struggling to keep up with the leg speed of the Eagles. The midfielders of young Dersma, Kelly and Shanahan and Murdoch, and Waterman up forward was just devastating. They were killing Essendon. And in that term, they were out to 51 points. The only upside for Essendon was that McKay kicked his first goal ever. There was another late goal to Essendon and gave him some sort of respectability. It was a 5-2 quarter. Goal for goal early, and then Murdoch gets his third goal, game over. But to Essendon's credit, that did play hard. played the game through, and they outscored the Eagles 4-2 in that last quarter. And the Eagles win by 30 points. The best for me for the Eagles was Gimby, absolute star, Kelly and Waterman. And for the Bombers, I just gave 2 to Roberts and Dersma. Thank you for listening to Game Day.